welcome to this training workshop for SIAC Gateway, SIAC's new online case management system. My name is Vivek, and I'm the Deputy Registrar of the Secretariat of SIAC. To conduct today's workshop, we have with us today Mr. Rishabh Malavia, who is a counsel with the Secretariat at SIAC, and Dr. Zhao Yue, who is the Deputy Counsel with the Secretariat at SIAC. We also have with us today Mr. Andrew O, who is the project manager for SIAC Gateway, and who is really the driving force behind many of the functionalities that you will see on the platform. And you can use this opportunity to raise your questions to him and Rishabh and Yue on how to use Gateway and the functionalities that is available. Together, they will demonstrate three key components of the platform that you will likely be using in your cases at SIAC. First is the eFiling platform, which is the platform that you can use to file arbitrations through your notices of arbitration and other requests for services at SIAC. Second, they will demonstrate the Parties Portal, which is essentially your main point of contact and the main portal through which you interact with your cases, your documents, and the tribunals that are appointed on your cases. And third, for those of you who will be acting as arbitrators on SIAC's cases, they will also demonstrate the Arbitrators Portal, which is the main portal for arbitrators to interact with their cases, documents, and the parties on their cases. Much of what we do at SIAC in terms of structuring our rules, procedures, and processes is really intended to achieve efficiency and a better and more user-friendly experience on the cases for those of you who choose to arbitrate at SIAC. SIAC Gateway is our effort at harnessing and using technology to achieve these same objectives. And we do hope that you will find that to be the case when you use Gateway in the future on your cases. With that, let me hand over to Yue, who will begin by demonstrating the eFiling portal. And I wish you an enjoyable workshop. Through the course of the workshop, of course, feel free to type in any questions that you have for the presenters in the chat box. And we will, of course, try and address as many as we can through the course of the workshop. And where we are not able to do so during the course of this workshop, we can certainly always answer them offline. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. We will first demonstrate the e-filing system, which is a system that now allows the parties to file a notice of arbitration and other applications for SIAC arbitration-related services online. With the e-filing system, we are now transmitting from an email-based system to a centralized online system for e-filing. We are also happy to announce that when e-filing a case through the SIAC Gateway, as I will be demonstrating shortly, parties are now able to pay case filing fee online. This means that in addition to bank transfer and check that we are currently allowing the parties to pay case filing fee, the parties are now able to pay their case filing fee directly inside the SIAC Gateway concurrently with the e-filing of the arbitration. Okay, now I will start to share my screen. I trust that you can see this SIAC Gateway landing page. Those who are familiar with SIAC website will see that there is a new tab here, SIAC Gateway. Click it and you will be directed to the landing page of the SIAC Gateway. On the right side, you will see 4 buttons. The first one, e-filing, the one that I will be using shortly. Second one, Parties Portal. Third one, Arbitrators Portal. The last one is a help button. If you have any question, simply click the help button and key in your question, and we will try to help you with necessary guidance. And now we have also provided the parties with FAQs, frequently asked questions. We have some quick answers to the most frequently asked questions, and this function will also provide you with the most basic guidance to the SIAC Gateway. I'm now clicking the e-filing button. As you can see, now you are already inside the SIAC e-filing gateway system. The first step is to verify your email to start filing your request. This is the email that I will be using today for testing. Click Sign In. It will send you a one-time code. You go to your email box and just wait for 2 or 3 seconds, and your one-time access code should be there. Okay, now it's here. Make sure that you copy the code accurately and avoid any extraneous space. Now submit code. You are officially in the SIAC eFiling system. As you can see, this landing page of the SIAC eFiling system will allow you to create and submit a new request. And that allows the notice of arbitration, the one that is most frequently used, and also an emergency arbitrator application. We also allow our users to file applications for ad hoc appointment, certification, authentication, taxation, fund holding, and to submit general inquiry. In the system, you will also be able to see the draft requests that you are still working on and the already submitted request. Today, I will be demonstrating the e-filing using the notice of filing of the notice of arbitration. I have already saved one. Here, I just want to kindly remind everyone that this e-filing process is tied to the specific email address that you have been using for the login. This means that in practice, for a specific email address used for login, you will only be able to see the drafts and previous e-filing submitted from the same email address. So we would recommend that law firms and counsel teams, they use e-filing email address so that they can work collaboratively with their team member. As you can see, there are certain tabs and fields flagged out with asterisks. And these fields, they are required. This means that you need to fill in the information so that you can proceed to the next steps. And for some fields, you will be able to see a small question mark here. Just moving your mouse closer to the question mark, and there will be some notes which may clarify the questions that you have. For example, this one, the first step, it requires you to fill in the filing name. Here I use A and B as the filing name. And second question is, does the claimant or any of the claimants belong in Singapore? If you feel confused, you can see the question mark here tells you that a party will be considered as belonging to Singapore in which circumstance, so that you can self-identify yourself as belonging or not to Singapore. Here, I choose yes, meaning that I belong to Singapore, and this will change the sum in this will change the sum of the case filing fee. If you choose Singapore, then the case filing fee will be directly changed to include the GST. If you choose no, I'm not belonging to Singapore, then the case filing fee will be automatically changed to 2,000. So I will be using yes, I belong to Singapore. And the second is the claimant's information. It allows you to add claimant's necessary information, including claimant's name, nationality, address. These are the required fields. And you may also add other information such as the corporate structure. I will simply use A, and remember that I'm a Singaporean party. save the party, you will also be able to add your representative. It may be your company representative, otherwise it may be your legal counsel. Again, once you've decided to add legal counsel or company representative, you will be required to key in the full name, the email address, and the business address, also the country information of this counsel. This field also allows you to add multiple claimants. In case that you have 2 or 3 claimants, you can simply click adding, and then you can add other counsel, you can add other party or counsel's information. The third one is the respondent's information. Again, it's basically the same as the claimants tab. You add a respondent, and there are certain information required, other information you may or may not fill in. And in this case, different from the case for the claimant, we know that the claimant may not be able to identify the respondent's email at this stage. So email address now becomes an option information. Again, you are able to add respondent's counsel information, but this is not a required field. Next one is arbitration agreement. Add arbitration agreement, then you need to key in the document's name and the date of arbitration agreement. And here, select file, you can upload the arbitration agreement that you want to use. This tab also allows you to upload multiple arbitration agreements if that is the case where you want to file, for example, a single notice of arbitration, but revoking multiple arbitration agreements. Next tab. This is not a required type, but again, you are free to key in this information, which may help SIAC to deal with this arbitration promptly. Here, the recommended information, arbitration rules, number of arbitrator, seat, governing law, language of arbitration, etc. We don't require the parties to include such information, but you can always provide us with necessary information to assist us. Pre-constitution application. The most important one that I want to flag here is emergency arbitrator application. If you want to file an emergency arbitrator application together with your notice of arbitration, then remember to click yes, in which case your application will be prioritized based on its emergency. Here, I want to stop a little bit to go back to the options of application that you had. The second one is a notice of arbitration, the one that I'm currently demonstrating. The first one is emergency arbitrator application without notice of arbitration. So basically, we now allow our parties to either file an emergency arbitrator application together with a notice of arbitration using the second option. Otherwise, you may file a separate emergency arbitrator application. If you have done so, then when you are filing the notice of arbitration, you don't need to include the emergency arbitrator application again. You don't need to repeat it. This tab will also allow you to file other pre-arbitration application, such as expedited procedure, consolidation, joinder, AMA. Those I will not spend much time on. Quantification of claims. Those who are familiar with SIAC rules know that we need the parties to quantify their claims to estimate the cost of arbitration and to collect deposit. So here, the parties will be able to add the quantification of their claims. And in cases where we have multiple arbitration agreements invoked, the parties may able to point the quantification of certain claims to a specific arbitration agreement. In some cases, the parties are not able to fully quantify their claim, so we also allow the parties to choose claim partially quantified or claim not quantified. Next one is a document to be uploaded. As you can see, this is a required tab. Here, we will ask the parties to at least upload the notice for arbitration by using the select file function. Remember that SIAC Gateway is not designed to replace the notice for arbitration as a document. So here, the party, you are required to upload your notice of arbitration, and you are welcome to upload other enclosures or documents that you want to attach to the notice of arbitration, or you otherwise want to provide SIAC with. If you are paying your case filing fee by bank transfer or by check, we would also ask you to upload, for example, the receipt or the bank transfer record, so that it's easier for us to identify the payment of the case filing fee. As I mentioned, now we allow the parties to pay their case filing fee inside the SIAC Gateway. If you are using online payment inside the gateway, it's not necessary to upload the payment record of the case filing fee. Next one is related cases. We will leave this to the parties to tell us if you think this case that you are filing is in any way related to an existing case. For example, some parties, they may want to consolidate this case with an already existing case. In that scenario, feel free to flag the related SIAC case and provide us with SIAC case number if you know it, if needed. Last step is a payment. Remember that I mentioned at the first step, you are asked the question that if you are a Singaporean party or not. In that case, I chose Singaporean. So the case filing fee payable is 2,180 SIAC case filing fee plus GST. If I chose non-Singaporean party, then this amount will become 2,000. Here, we allow the parties to pay by bank transfer or pay check, in which case you only need to tell us, okay, I have already paid it, and provide us with the payment record. Otherwise, you can say that we haven't paid it, in which case you will get a reference number that you can use in making the payment. Otherwise, feel free to use the electronic payment, the credit card or electronic wallet that we provide you with. Yes, now we allow the parties to make payment inside the SIAC Gateway by card, by Google Pay, by Alipay, or by WeChat. And I just want to remind all the parties that if you are filing a very time-sensitive case or filing an emergency arbitrator, it's still necessary maybe to consult with us about how long the payment will be taking before choosing the method of payment. Okay, and after finishing all of this, you can simply click Submit. The last step, before doing that, the last step will allow you to go through the filing that you just made. I want to clarify that once you click Submit, it is no longer to make any amendments to your notice of arbitration or to the application that you have submitted. If you still want to make necessary amendments, you can simply save it, which means that your new filing will appear as a draft. But in that case, we will not be able to receive the new filing. So you need to submit it, in which case you will not be make any amendments, but SIAC will be able to proceed with the next step. Okay, this is what I want to share about the e-filing system. To sum it up, now the SIAC e-filing system will allow the parties to file their notice of arbitration anywhere, anytime, and with your laptop or computer. But I just want to clarify that currently SIAC e-filing and SIAC Gateway is not available as a mobile application. So you still need to use your computer or your laptop. However, this SIAC Gateway is available around the clock. Whenever you want to file a fresh notice of arbitration on your new application, remember that you are only clicks away from the SIAC e-filing system. And if you have any questions, you can either contact us with this email address. Otherwise, go back to the SIAC Gateway landing page, click the help, and we will be able to assist you. Okay, Rishabh, I will hand the floor to you.
Thank you, Yue, for the demonstration of the filing portal, and hello to everyone, and thank you for joining us for this session. I will be demonstrating the Parties portal and the Arbitrators portal. And what I'd like to highlight before I get started with the demonstration itself is that the portals have been designed with you in mind. They're designed for ease of use, and a lot of the steps that I demonstrate right now, you'll see it for yourself, are quite self-explanatory and quite intuitive for anyone who's been using any kind of computer for a while now. So I'll start first with the demonstration of the Parties portal, and let me share screen. Right. So as Yue already showed you, you'll access the SIAC Gateway through our website. And this is the landing page which you'll arrive on when you click the SIAC Gateway button. And as you can see to the right of your screen, there are three options for e-filing, Parties portal, Arbitrators portal, in addition to the help section. When you click on Parties portal, you'll be able to log in to the Parties portal. I'd also like to highlight that the first time that you are added by the SIAC team to a matter, you will receive instructions on how to access the Parties portal. And again, like I said, it is a fairly simple login process and very similar to how you would log into any email account. So this is the page you'll arrive at when you log into the Parties portal, and this will show you all of the cases that you are added on as a party. So for instance, if a particular law firm is acting for multiple cases, all the cases will show up here. So you can see there are multiple cases over here. And I'm going to show you what the portal actually looks like in ARB 000 of 24. Right. So you can see to the right of your screen up top, that is the case name that is available. There's the case reference number, the commencement date, a brief snapshot of what the case is about. And down to the left, you will see case details, which again describes for information purposes only the seat of the arbitration, the governing law, the industry type, the underlying date of the contracts, the number of arbitrators that's been specified. Now, again, this is not binding in any manner. It's only informative and can be updated through the course of the proceedings, depending on any decision to that effect. But what the portal is really about is these three buttons that you see to the top of your screen, which is case documents, all parties, private documents, and tribunal, which is also replicated over here under the case detail section, under the section called case documents. So for instance, if you wish to submit documents to all parties, to the arbitrators and to SIAC, for instance, if you need to file some kind of pleadings, you can click on this and it allows you to upload a document. So for instance, you can drag and drop your statement of claim into this box and upload it to us. You can browse for files on your local computer and upload it to us along with a submission note, for instance, which will briefly describe what that document is. And once that document is uploaded, it will be available in the case documents section under from claimant. So if, for instance, a claimant has filed a letter regarding the nomination of the arbitrator, this is where it will show up. So it's a repository of all the documents that have been filed in the arbitration thus far, categorized by folder, depending on which party has uploaded them. So it's the documents from the claimants, it's documents from the respondents, documents from the arbitrators, and documents from SIAC. So for instance, the notice of arbitration, which is from the claimants, you can preview it from here. You can also download it from here. You can also use this button to view all the documents that have been shared in the matter, like I just showed you. It's the same section. You can also go to the private documents tab to upload documents to SIAC only. So for instance, if the claimant wishes to upload certain documents to SIAC only, so for instance, remittance details for deposits, this is where they can come to upload the documents to SIAC only. These documents are not shared with the other party. They're not shared with the tribunal. And it's the same system where you can upload a document by dragging and dropping it, or uploading it directly by browsing from files on your local desktop and uploading it directly along with the submission note. And this is where it will show up. So for instance, a bank transfer record uploaded by the claimant is showing up in the private documents section, and it specifies that it's claimants and SIAC only. And you can preview the document here as well. And the last tab is the tribunal tab, which will describe the tribunal that has been appointed in your case. So here you can see this contains information about the tribunal that has been appointed in that particular case. And that's really it for the parties' portal. What I'm demonstrating to you currently is the claimants portal. The respondents portal is a reflection of this, so it is pretty much the same. And that's really it for the parties' portal. But of course, happy to answer further questions about this parties' portal as we go along. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, my other screen, to show you what the arbitrators portal looks like. Right, so you can see over here that once you log into the arbitrators portal, it's pretty similar to what it was like for the parties' portal. The multiple cases that an arbitrator may be active on as arbitrator, as counsel, show up over here. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when an arbitrator has been appointed in a particular case and what their portal looks like. So again, we go to ARB00 of 24. So you see once again, there's the case name onto the top right of your screen. There's case details, which describes further details about the case for information purposes only. There's details about the parties, including the parties' names and contact details. And there's details of the tribunal itself, along with details of the SIAC case management team that is active on that particular matter. Now, for the arbitrators portal, what is relevant is these tabs that are to the top left of your screen. So we'll go through them in turn. So first is all parties case documents. The tribunal, the arbitrators can view the documents that have been uploaded by all of the parties, by SIAC and even by the tribunal itself. So for instance, documents from the claimant, like the notice of arbitration, is stored in the documents from claimants folder, and it can be previewed and downloaded from here. Similarly, for the respondents, documents that have been uploaded by the arbitrators, so for instance, procedural orders in that matter have been uploaded here because they've been submitted by the tribunal, and also documents from SIAC that may be uploaded and shared to this folder. Now, the next tab is upload documents to all parties. So for instance, if the tribunal wishes to share, like I said, a procedural order with all the parties, they can come to this tab, upload documents to all parties. They can click on this button and similarly drag or drop a file or browse for files on their local computer and submit it along with a submission note. Now, there is a note here that's provided for clarity for the arbitrators, which essentially states that the documents that are uploaded to this tab will be viewable by all parties and by SIAC. And any draft awards, assigned awards, or ad hoc documents for SIAC only, which are not to be viewed by the parties, should be uploaded to the private documents tab, which is the tab that I will show you next. Now, this is the private documents tab. Now, if an arbitrator, for instance, wants to submit documents to SIAC only, they can use the submit documents to SIAC only tab. For instance, if they wish to share with us narratives of the time spent, they wish to share with us a request for interim payments, anything of that nature, which they only need to send to SIAC, they can use this tab to share it with SIAC. They can use the next tab called Submit Draft Award to SIAC only to submit the draft award to SIAC for the scrutiny process. And then is the last tab called Submit Signed Award to SIAC only, which comes into play after the scrutiny process is completed. When a signed award is sent to the SIAC will then register it and transmit it to the parties. So, like I said, it's designed for ease of use, and the documents or the various tabs are marked quite clearly so that there is little by way of confusion. As you can see, the private documents folders, the arbitrators can view the documents that have been uploaded by that arbitrator and shared only with SIAC as well. Then is the tribunal section, which essentially is a snapshot of the tribunal, the case details of the tribunal. And the arbitrators portal, the last thing I would like to highlight, is also allows the arbitrators to update their arbitrator profile by clicking on the Update Your Arbitrator Profile button. This is where it will lead you, and what the arbitrator can then do is click on the profile, click Edit, and they can edit anything in their profile, including their name, gender identity, nationality, web page, all contact details, etc. So they can update that as they want for all the cases with SIAC. And that's really it from me on the Arbitrators Portal. Like we said, we're happy to answer any questions that I as yet unanswered in the Q&A. Thank you.